Hey everyone, this is Adarsh. So we were talking about types of lads. We had already discussed 9 types. Only one type was left. In this video, we'll discuss that. So if you haven't watched the other two videos, I would recommend to watch them first and then come on to this one. Uh, so yeah, without any further delay, let's get started. Before understanding the word, we should understand the root word of the day because that's very important in order to understand the word. The root word is patho, which means disease, right? So you must have heard about a word called pathology, right? Pathology, pathology, pathology means study of disease. Similarly, someone who studies the disease is known as pathologist. So pathologist is the guy who tells you which kind of disease you're having, what's wrong with your stomach, what's wrong with your eyes, what's wrong with your. So they'll do a proper test and then they will give you a result. Okay, this is wrong with your stomach or any part of your body. If there is disease in that part, they will tell you about that specific disease. So that person is pathologist. I don't think that I need to explain that word anymore. Uh, Jumping on to the first word, it is sympathy. Sympathy, one another property of this root word patho, when it is combined with some other word, it like automatically its meaning converts into feeling. So sympathy means feeling the pain, right? If you say that the adjective form of sympathy is sympathetic. If you say that I am sympathetic towards you, that means whatever pain the other person who you are telling this thing to is going through, you feel that pain. It is almost that you both are suffering from that phase together. So if there's a friend of yours and he is going through some tough stage in his life and you feel sympathetic towards him, it means you also feel the pain, feel the same pain your friend is suffering from, right? So sympathy or sympathetic. Sympathetic is adjective, sympathy is noun. Antipathy. Anti is very obvious that anti means against. I am anti-national, so I'm against. I'm not saying that I'm anti-national. I'm saying that if someone is anti-national, that means that person is against the interests of nation. That person doesn't want the nation to grow. That person doesn't want good things to be happening to the nation. So that person is anti-national. Similarly, antipathy is someone who's against the person who is feeling some kind of pain. So you become a sadist in that form. You enjoy that pain. Instead of feeling sympathetic towards him, you feel antipathic. Antipathetic means you start enjoying his pain. You are actually having fun that this person is going through some trouble. Right. So it's kind of uh, it brings in that sense of humility to the other person. It brings in that sense of hatred in you, hostility, sense of a feeling of enmity, or you can say jealousy. So these kind of feelings this word portrays. The third word of the day is apathy. Apathy is when you're not affected by the pain. You're let's just say you're on a railway station, right? And you there is a stranger in front of you and he's just crying. He's a grown man, but he's crying, and crying for a grown man is a big deal. So like he must be going through some really tough phase. That's why he's crying. But you are unaffected by it because you don't know that person. He's just a stranger to you, and you're like, okay, what do I do with that? Let him cry, and you just leave him and you keep walking, right? So you are apathetic towards towards that person's pain. You don't really care whether he's okay or he's just pretending to cry. You don't even want to know that person. I mean, if you are a very sympathetic person who is very kind in your heart, I'm not talking about that nature of a person. I mean, if you genuinely feel bad for others, I'm not talking about that nature, but I'm talking about the majority of people who don't really care about what a stranger is going through. I'm talking about that situation. I'm not talking about any exceptional case where you need to console everybody. I'm not talking about that what to say, that the good guy. I'm talking about normal people, right? So you're apathetic towards that person. Yesterday, if you have watched my videos, I had discussed two other words for the uh, same context, not affected. One was indifference, Indifference is a normal word, but other word also I had discussed. I hope you remember it. People who have watched it must have remembered it. So if you remember, just comment that the other word is that. Just to give you a hint, it starts with imp and dash dash dash. You need to complete that word. That also means to be unaffected by something, right? The fourth word, the fourth word is empathy. Empathy is kind of similar to sympathy, but the intensity of that word is even more. The intensity is such that you almost identify the pain as if you were also in the same situation, right? As if you have gone through that. If someone got hurt in his fingers, let's just say, someone, it's a physical. I'm talking about physical pain, but it could be in emotional cases as well. So someone got hurt in his finger, or he got his finger against the door, and he got hurt. So if you have also, like, you also feel exactly the same pain as if you have also been brushed against your finger on a door, right? So that's what empathy is. When you identify the pain, when you know exactly what the other person is going through, you feel that that person and you both are same. There is no difference. You both are going through the same thing. That's how you, like, to that extent you connect with that person's pain, then you're empathetic towards that person. Telepathy is nothing but feeling the pain from the distance. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that one person has to be in London and the other person has to be in Lucknow to feel the pain of other. I mean, that also is meaning in a certain context, but telepathy is when you understand the pain of person without even having a conversation with that person. You just look at that person and you realize, okay, there is something wrong with that guy. Then you're telepathic. When you understand the mindset of other person, you don't have to hold a conversation for that the other person doesn't have to open up to yourself for you to be able to identify his pain. You just understand that there's something wrong with him, and you, if you are that guy, then you're telepathic. Okay. The other word is pathetic, very commonly and very widely used word, I would say. Pathetic is something so bad that you feel sorry for that, and it is always used in negative context. If I say that the movie I saw yesterday was quite pathetic, so that movie was so bad that you feel sorry for the people who watched it, and you feel sorry for the people who actually directed that movie, who wrote that movie, who made that movie altogether. So that's what, I mean, that's what you feel for the person. Then you, I mean, that's really bad, and you just pity on them. It's almost laughable that something can be that bad. So in that context, it is used, and I mean, it's very much. I mean, the uses of this word is very wide. I mean, people use this literally at every context, right? Pathetic. This movie is very pathetic. Our education system is very pathetic. My health these days is pathetic. Anything pathetic can be, it can go with anything, right? So anything that is bad in your life, so bad that the other person could feel sorry for, then it is pathetic, right? Okay, now coming on to the word we have to discuss for the day: a pathological liar. So I told you what pathology means. Pathology means a study of disease. So a liar, for whom lying is a disease, he can't help it. It is a disease to him, right? It is like a it he just can't help it. He opens his mouth and disease comes out unconsciously, right? He doesn't try to lie, but because it is a disease, so even if he tries to not lie, it just comes out. Then it is an incurable disease. Lying is an incurable disease for him, right? There are so many leaders in this country, I wouldn't like to take name, but sometimes they lie with a straight face and they don't even realize that they're lying. I hope you got what I'm talking about. So, the pathological liar is someone for whom lying is a disease and it's incurable. He just can't help it, and there is no cure to it. So, yeah, that's it. It was a short video that I had to put out. Uh, I hope you liked it. If you like it, show me that you liked it. I mean, comment on also. and which kind of corrections you would like to be made in these videos, because I am making these videos but I have no idea whether it is beneficial to you or not. So just tell me if you want me to make any changes or make any corrections. I would be more than happy to, inculcate that from the next videos. Thank you very much for the watching. If you stayed for that long, thank you for support. Keep showing that. Bye bye.